Welcome to our Wellness Wednesday Health Show. We are just wrapping up our series for International Overdose Awareness Month, where throughout the month we have met with several individuals who are committed to helping the overdose crisis that our country faces. We've met everyone from law enforcement to addiction support groups to inpatient and rehab facility centers to alternative pain management treatments and many, many more. If you haven't caught all these videos, please go to our YouTube channel or look back through Facebook and catch these different videos. There is just so much information that we've been able to learn from so many people in the community committed to stopping overdose that we just want to be able to make sure the word gets out. So please go back, watch the videos, and share them. However, we are on site once again today with a very special guest, Vanessa from New Life Women's Center. Vanessa, thank you for joining us today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Now, what is New Life Women's Center? What role does that play in the addiction cycle?
I would say the biggest role that it plays is recovery. We are a 9-month residential treatment facility that houses women in-house. So we love to just live life with them. We focus a lot on counseling. Celebrate Recovery is big for what we do here. We also give them a lot of classes, a lot of life skills, things that they kind of missed along the way growing up. And we've seen that it helps in that recovery process. It helps take back those steps from overdose awareness, and it kind of prevents that. So
okay, so it's a 9-month program, and if someone is in that, either themselves or their loved one is addicted to some type of substance, how do they connect with you?
they can find our number off of our website at creativeoutreach.com. A lot of our information is there. We have an application there as well, but immediately calling us is the best thing to do, and we can start the application process and walk them through what the need is. We totally understand that sometimes it's immediate, and we're willing to work with whatever the cases are.
Okay. Are they here for the entire 9 months then?
Yes, they are here for the entire 9 months for graduation.
So they live on site?
They sure do.
And this is a beautiful location.
Thank you.
I think you mentioned you sit on 15 acres in the woods up here in Montgomery County. Absolutely beautiful. It's a great place to heal.
Yes.
It's just therapeutic being outside with Mother Nature.
Absolutely.
How did you get connected with this?
So I got connected about 4 years ago. I met Dottie Compton through a job ad, of course, and my position here has grown with her. I absolutely love being able to do what I do, because one of the frustrations that I had just kind of working ministry was that I see the same people, the same problems for so long, year after year, and I couldn't seem to pinpoint how do we just give them these tools and resources that they really need in order to make an impact in a shorter time frame. So when I saw what she was running here, I was like, this is perfect. This is right up my alley. I know it fits my personality and I can totally run with this, and that's exactly what I've been doing this whole time.
That's cool. So you're actually seeing chambers before in previous ministries, same problems, same issues year after year. What is it about this program that makes it different where in a 9-month window you're seeing change?
We just try our best to love everybody. We know that it's a hard process. You know, I come from a background, I know what it is to live with somebody with addiction. I know what it is to start drinking early and not know how to love yourself. I know what it is to also be a mom that, you know, goes through postpartum. There's a lot of aspects when you talk about addiction and recovery. So having that personal attachment to that and having staff that has personal attachment just gives us a better opportunity to really understand them, really love them, and really focus on what their needs are and how do we get them through this process.
Okay, very cool. Over at the 9 months, is it divided into different phases?
It is. It's 3 phases.
So what's phase 1? Let's maybe briefly walk us through each one.
Phase 1, I would say, is really focused on connecting, orientation, getting them in the house, and just getting them acclimated. That's our number one goal, is to have them start learning to trust us and focus on what that is and who we are as people.
Now, for someone, do they need to detox before they come in, or if they are in need of detoxing, do you assist with that here?
That's a great question. They would have to detox before coming in here because we are not a facility that is capable or equipped with that kind of equipment.
So once they detox, this is like immediate next step before they slip into that lifestyle again. All right, so phase 1, you talked about who they really are. I know this is a ministry, and as I look around, I see even written on the wall over here, God's known will. So what role does God and Christ and that relationship play in overcoming addiction?
I think it plays such a significant role. I have personally seen people go outside of a Christ-centered facility, And it works short term. Sometimes they can make it work long term. It just depends. But honestly, without it, I've seen so many come into our facility and try to even do it without God, even though we do teach and build on that foundation. And it just is not the same to me. It's not the same to me. That's what holds it all together.
You know, it's interesting. We were with the Adult and Teen Challenge, which is an inpatient 12-month program, similar to yours, but it works mainly with men and teenage boys. And their step one is very similar. Their first step is all about establishing a relationship with God, and if it's not there, they're like, the program doesn't work.
True.
So it's interesting to hear this from two different organizations, two different people who don't know each other but are committed to helping this, that just how important it is to have that personal relationship with God in life in general, but especially when overcoming trials and challenges like addiction.
Absolutely.
So that's phase one. Tell a little bit about phase two.
Phase two, we get into the meat of things. That's when we're focusing on deep-rooted issues. That's when we get to know them a little bit better. We have more of an intimate connection. There's trust there already, so we can start targeting the really tough things. We open up the book. Celebrate Recovery is where they actually go through a really heavy process during that time of just spiritual inventory. So it's tough. It's the meat of what the program is.
So for the days here, are they in group sessions for the bulk of the day? Are they free time? What does an average day look like?
It's a little bit of all of that. You know, we start off with a lot of group stuff. We live here all on property together, so it's just normal that way. But we do break off and give them individual time, especially for counseling. Processing this information is hard. Group stuff allows you to hear other people's perspective, but it's not everything. So they need that time one-on-one. They also get evaluations where they get more time with me one-on-one to go over their goals and their expectations of the program and things like that.
Okay, how many women can you accommodate at one time?
12.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Do you try to have all 12 begin and start at the same time, or is it some are graduating, others starting?
Some are graduating and starting. It's a constant flow, so we don't stop it just because we have a certain amount. We just keep bringing people in as some leave, some come in.
Okay, good. And then phase three, tell us about that.
That is our final phase, our celebration phase. Actually, we focus a lot on what I would call like a launch phase, getting them prepared for the next season outside of us. So it's heavy on job readiness, interview skills, banking, financial stuff.
Yeah.
So it's very much so that part of it.
Just how to integrate back into society.
It's important.
Okay, that is really cool. Over the years, what are some of the success stories that come to mind, without sharing individuals' names, just some stories that stand out of people that went through the program and now they're just in a completely different, better place?
I actually just spent some time with one of them not that long ago who has been out of our program for a little over a year and a half now, and she's doing amazing. She's homeschooling her kid, which she didn't have a relationship with for many, many years. Her mom had custody of her, and now they live together. They work together. She's able to really just be involved in that part that she missed so much. So it was so nice to see the family unit just working together that I hadn't been able to witness before when she was even in the process of recovery. So the light in all of them, that's a key.
That is cool. And whatever her addiction was, she's been able to keep that?
She's been in recovery this entire time.
Okay, I think that is so cool. And I'm sure you have so many more stories like that from working here for many years. And on that scale of things that matter most in life, you're really making an impact at a granular level in the life of an individual. And then to me, it's like dropping rocks into a pond, right? And then it creates this positive ripple. So now she has a relationship with her mother and her child, and just from there it radiates. So cool. So very cool. If someone's watching this and they have a loved one who's addicted, what message would you have for them?
Don't give up on them. I know that they have tried your patience. I know that you have probably given them everything that you can, but don't give up on them, because you may be their last hope. This one phone call may be the one phone call that actually does something for them. So reach out to whoever it is and try to seek that help for them.
Thank you. Now, if they're like, oh my gosh, I need to reach out to you, we're going to put all the contact info below. How much does this program cost to them?
We are free of charge to our students. So tuition, room, and board at no cost.
Okay, just amazing. Just amazing. We'll also put another link for those of you who are watching this that in your heart it's, hey, I want to donate to this as well, because I believe you don't take any, there's no government funding. This is privately funded through donors. Is that correct?
Correct.
So if it's on your heart to contribute to this, we'll put a link down there as well.
Thank you.
Vanessa, thank you for your time today. Thank you for helping to bring awareness and to positively impact the lives of those who are addicted, to make a brighter life for them and for their loved ones. And just such a tremendous work you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So you guys, again, thank you for joining us in this entire month of August as we've honored and brought to light International Overdose Awareness Month. And please stay connected. Even though this is a month that we're highlighting it, this is an issue that happens 12 months, right? 365, right? 24/7. There is a problem with addiction in our country. There's a problem with overdose, whether it's from legal drugs or illegal drugs and other type of substances. We just want to be able to bring awareness, educate people, know that there's treatment facilities. There are so many people willing to help. So stay connected to us. We're going to keep bringing you valuable information to positively impact the health of you and your loved ones. Until then, you guys take care and be well.